All right
Oh,
then.
damn it.
All right.
So, yeah, I've not been around for a day or two. Sorry about that. Yeah, how are things?
So I think uh, the place test that we did yesterday was by far the best one we've ever done. I mean, it's quite like expected, right? Because the more
Well, the thing that I really didn't expect is obviously you guys didn't put any control scheme overview, and people were
no,
playing the
no, we
game.
did, we did.
Oh, did you?
I did post the control scheme, the control scheme in the tic tac toe.
Oh, I just saw it. Okay, I just saw it. Okay, let me delete my message.
um, in fact, yeah, I saw like what I really liked about it is I saw a lot of fluidity, and like we know that there is those couple of things and blah blah. And like the guy that was playing with the cruiser camera, he had exactly the same bug that you had with the raw input thing. By the way, I disabled the raw input, and it looks like that bug is still there. The one that
Yeah.
you cannot control the camera like crazy.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it might be a different one.
Yeah, it might be something else. But apart from like, so I saw everything that I already knew, right? Apart from that, like, Dunbas did a side flip while he was hanging, stuff like that. Okay, sure, like those
I
obvious.
think I already know what the fix for that is already. I've
Yeah.
seen that bug before, and I'm gonna fix it.
But yeah, I'm very happy that I saw a lot of people doing fluid line with apparently no much effort, right? I mean, they literally started to play the game, and if you see the clip that Kratz sent in the game clip channel, it's freaking awesome. Right?
I saw that.
It's I was very happy that yeah, everything went as I thought it would go. So
Well, I mean, for me, the thing that I was, yeah, I was surprised that there was a lot. It seemed like, and this was what I was hoping for, in terms of people didn't say they couldn't do things. It was just like doing things, which I think was the main thing to come across. Like it was like I didn't see any like, oh, I'm bailing all the time, or I'm doing this all the time,
yeah,
or I can't jump. Like the behavior that is, and I think, like you said, we already knew kind of where all the problems lied or lay, right? That was never the issue. It was more so like, how are people going to play it? And from what I'm seeing at least as well, is there's a lot more like I can see people really wanting to do like flippy movements,
yeah,
standing prees and stuff like that. The and just bits and bobs like that. I've seen people, and I think generally what I'm seeing is people want to be more precise. You know what I mean? And I think that's the
yeah.
element that I think we need to nail in on is like is the precision in the movement. So like Kratz is one, like Sacred when he's on the rails. It's like, okay, you know what? Like, yeah, like was mainly playing around with precision. So I think there's a lot of stuff with the stick we need to improve. Like the stuff in terms of like when we're jumping, are we like landing on the rail? What's the offset between the feet and those kind of behaviors. Because that's one thing our game will like set aside is that like we don't need a thick ledge. You know what I mean? We can have these thin micro specific things that are like real objects that can go across. The dice rolls feel fantastic. Cheers, Joel. Again, like the thing that for me gives me a lot of confidence and hope is that seemingly in a map that I put together in 20 minutes, without real care for like distances and like fine tuning that, with such a small amount of coverage, it seems as though people were able to really do a lot. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, that tells me that as the animations improve and the coverage improves too, so will the play experience. So yeah, that's real good.
Yeah, it went extremely well.
That's good too.
Yeah, I
And I
can
haven't
ask
heard
you.
much like input like control wise. I haven't heard a lot of like because it seems like the dive rolls feel fantastic, which tells me that you know the flicking inputs. Because it was my thinking for a while was always that like there's nothing wrong with the flicking, right? But I think if you're gonna do it, you have to do it well. Otherwise, it will always be subpar to the button press. But I think we're now at the point where the gameplay is responsive enough that the flicks don't they feel like you do a flick and he does something. I think that's one of the key things that's changed. So that's good. Nah, from what I've seen at least, it looks like it's good feedback. But and we obviously know there's a ton of stuff to improve. But all of them, like the path to improve that is very obvious. And all I still think personally, all the animations are still way too rough. Um, so once that's all improved, then yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting.
And I think the trajectory of improvements now is starts to be, you know, well, the trajectory of fixing starts to get more logarithmical. Like it won't really take long to uh improve on yeah, on things because we already did the bulk of the work. So now with literally small deltas we can really improve a lot. One thing that
I mean, yeah,
um that was noticing is I I don't know if the stamina bar is well if the stamina like concept is more of an annoyance than because I saw people that just wanted to go and do stuff like there's no
yeah.
tomorrow,
You
right?
know, do you know what's
They,
crazy? Yeah, I
uh,
was thinking about that. I,
yeah,
I was thinking about that every. It's weird every time I play with it and I think about it. The less and less I wonder if because it's so weird when you turn on stamina, you realize that it pisses you off, and it's nice in a sense of like, I want to like because I think the key it adds like a gameplay feel to the game, right? Because it adds an
yeah,
additive element of what you want to do. But then on the flip side, it is one of those things where there is already a lot to think about, and we have to really weigh up if is it a gameplay feature that will add to the experience, or is it just there and it takes away from a lot of the things you want? Like, for example, do you just want to climb and flip and dive and stuff for like 20 minutes straight and not have to think about anything? And like, because I wonder if the stamina pulls you out of that like immersive, just like relaxed feeling, because
yeah.
you're like, like even when you mess up without the stamina, it's still very like you're still in it. You know what I mean? Because you can just go straight into something else and do it properly. Whereas like, yeah, I wonder. I mean, do you know what it could be? Could the stamina be directly tied to just the sprint? That's what I wonder.
Or I'm I'm thinking in terms of maybe the stamina is a component of more strategic gameplay mode, which is I don't know. For
Mm.
example,
Mm.
we have a lot more constraints, right? So it's like, okay, yeah, you need to
Yeah.
look for this, then that. It's more like a strategy, like
Yeah.
mechanics.
As opposed
But
to yeah,
yeah,
like
the
yeah,
open
a
world, the
mechanic. Yeah.
sandboxing, it should be like, yeah, that's free
Free.
flowing,
Yeah. Do
whatever,
as you
do
wanna.
whatever you want. Mm.
Yeah. Well, I also wonder like yeah, with that, I still I still wonder if it takes away because yeah, I can't help but feel like although it sounds right in principle, it is I can because I don't know like because I was thinking oh put it in a race, but then my thing is like stamina intrinsically discourages you to do more, and I think that is the problem, right? So like the thing I don't want to happen is to encourage a player to not do the cooler thing if because it costs more. Do you know what I mean? Like so, like I always think, for example, like if you want to take the cooler route or do the more crazy thing, that or like in between your movements, you're doing flips and stuff, but you're like nah, because I gotta save stamina. Then that I feel is taking away from the whole gameplay experience, and will probably make it so that you start to optimize your movement in a way that is actually less fun. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No,
oh, you know
yeah,
what?
I
Instead of doing
totally.
this stride thing, I'm gonna run around and conserve my stamina. And it's like,
Yeah.
because it's about going from. It's not because I think that's the thing. Like, if you're just looking about getting from A to B, right, then it's fine, right? But and ironically, that's the the intrinsic like start of parkour. But I think this style of parkour is everything is about the how we get from A to B, right? And being as creative as possible with it, especially for a game like this. So even like time trials and races, it's like, yeah, like because I think so. I think that's the other thing, clown, and that's the thing that will actually need to come about is stamina cannot just be this eternally decreasing cycle. Like it needs to be like you need to be able to combat the decrease, which like, in the moment currently you cannot, right? So it has to be tied to your flow. It has to be tied to all these things. The cost of the stamina has to change, and I think then at what point is it just like you said a hindrance? Then it is like it's just this thing you're thinking about for the because I always think it like unless it has a very obvious place right in it in the thing like oh yeah or like the flow for example in terms of scoring like unless it like you see it and you're just like yeah this makes sense people just do it because then I'm also like how we then displace that stamina and everything I'm not fully happy about displaying stamina on the screen as like this bar that is I don't know there's something about it that just for me pulls you out of that like as like a stamina bar that feels like a very action RPG kind of game whereas even in like a sports game like stamina isn't this I was thinking like so like FIFA for example your stamina exists but you can still sprint and it's just like this thing in the background that is at play but doesn't come so much to the forefront. Whereas I worry that if it has such a core thing as in terms of you can and can't do moves, then it really comes itself to the forefront very easily. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think
Yeah,
that's
and
interesting.
also for me, there is that element in which, like, if the stamina is too quick to deplete, then of course that is a huge hindrance for the game, right? But if the stamina is like quite long to deplete, like you keep it like for an extra longer amount of time just to give the game to keep the gameplay going, then at that point it makes almost no sense. Like if we had this stamina on the 155 stride challenge, then you would think that oh you are fine for the first 90, and then why the last 65 should be like you go like there is not a direct balance of slight like slowly decremental like other is a complete cliff, right? It's just like you burn your acid lactic and basically your legs stop, right? Because you cannot run anymore. But then that is more like what the hell happened there rather than this is like you need to explain it to the people. But if this is low depletion, it's yeah, it's weird because what is the range of the thing? Why could you do 90 strides and not 100? Like at that point yeah, for me like that balance becomes almost impossible to have it to make sense, right? Because yeah,
Yeah.
some point say, yeah, you do 90, you do 180, like it's like it's
Yeah. No, no, 100%. 100%. Oh yeah, I can't speed step.
oh yeah, I fixed I
Oh,
checked
okay,
in
that's
a
cool.
fix for that right now if you grab it.
Oh, okay, no, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like the for me, like the I'm still the obvious things are what are obvious, but that's fine. Like I'm not seeing anything that I didn't know, like you said, which is really nice. It's trying to turn around on a ledge. Yeah, no, you know what, 100%, Joel. Yeah, that's something I struggle with, and I think that is again goes into like a little bit more of a complex like movement mode kind of behavior because I think yeah like we need to really oh yeah we need to really hone in on our hone in on our like yeah like do you mean like the turn in place and stuff really needs to be like I still can't really like you know what I mean like there you want to turn around and do stuff like here you know you're there and you want to turn and do another thing. You know, you just kind of you just don't have that. And I think that that for me is one of the things that I've seen from this playtest, which I think is really really useful. Is there is a lot of precision in terms of like the subtlety of the movement that the actual player will need because you know when you do stuff on a big block, for example, it's all fine. But the second you get to these smaller ledges, which is weirdly a thing that seemingly attracts a lot of players, you know, the thin ledges, like it's something that they use almost like predominantly. That's where we lack a lot of control, and I think that's what we need to improve. Um, the other thing I wanted to, I mean, I want to ask it in the, I might ask it in this thing.
And then also, we really need to improve drastically the idle cycles because when you are on a
Yeah.
thin ledge, you can't do the slacking idle.
Yeah, so I think this is when that is the whole same thing. Like, um, I think that all goes together. You know, that like because when I say precision, I mean everything from sticks to just moving on a thin surface, and the back. Like I think that whole that element of locomotion. Because I think from what I'm seeing at least, people can control the character up until they get onto a very like tricky surf, like a more like where your locomotion needs to be constrained, but it isn't. You know what I mean? And I think that's where
Yeah, yeah,
the
definitely.
precision of movement is what we need because I think that's an area that most games don't have. Like the thin ledge for a lot of games is you're on a rail, right? Whereas we're like, no, we're going to keep everything fluid locomotion, but then if we don't constrain the movement, it's in essence impossible to go ahead and actually control that properly. So I think we can like we're gonna definitely be able to do it, but we need to figure out the way of constraining that movement or at least putting it into a movement mode where you have a lot more control through motion matching, which is obviously a difficult challenge. Whether we do it through motion matching, you know, Miller, but if we can, it'd be very cool. Um, yeah. For those of you in the stream that have played, just let me just put in the chat. Just how are you finding the general locomotion and controlling that? That's one thing I was really, really keen on seeing. Just turn, just like, but just not even like thin surfaces because we know that means work. But just in like, oh my god, this camera stuff. Just in general, like, yeah, just in general, like, just turning around and like moving and yeah, like say you had to weave in. I mean, I might release. I might do another just build quickly. That is just locomotion, like a little, just a map with some things, and be like, can you try like running around and turning and how you finding it? I mean, I think stuff like that is what we just got to start doing. That, you know, like just random builds of what we want to test. Might do that tonight, to be honest. Okay. In the meantime, let's try and discover what some of these
Oh, we
ways.
we didn't put any sliding in the map.
Oh, I completely forgot. I'll do that today. I need to have a look at it to be as well though, because I completely forgot about sliding. Let me make sure you can do actually. Well, let me throw a little poll. Yeah, just build it. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about sliding. Damn. Why can't I clamp this to the ground anymore? So annoying. Yeah, what the hell, man? Anyway, okay. Oh, good reminder though. I totally forgot about. Oh, that's kind of cool. Huh, that's sick. My thing moves so slow. What is up with my frames, man? Is it because I'm streaming? I can't really tell. I find it difficult to keep Josh straight, and when I want to sometimes stop, sometimes he does some extra steps sometimes randomly. Sensitivity is a bit high. Is that sensitivity on the camera or sensitivity on the movement? You didn't feel too. I have
Oh,
to learn
one
another
thing
way.
that we really need to add is another menu with the calibration setting, like how sensitive your mouse is, and stuff
Hmm.
like that, because um different people, different tastes. So yeah, I think even putting the I think like invert Y and X thingy, just put it on right rather than to be on a hotkey. I think it needs to be a setting that is there. Right? You're not
Hmm.
gonna switch invert Y right
Hmm.
every 2 seconds playing. Right?
No,
So it
exactly.
doesn't need to be a button. It just needs to be a setting.
Well, yeah,
Um,
I think that's one thing. Yeah, and I think that's an animation thing in terms of really being able to keep Josh straight. I think that's a really important thing.
But I think, right, when I see people working, working, um, playing with a mouse and keyboard, there were some people that did the stride challenge with mouse and keyboard, like extremely easy. They just did it basically first go, and so if you just press, if you just press straight like the W button, the W key on the keyboard. It's very easy. Basically, Josh will go straight forever, right? Um, but what I'm quite worried is that how can we control the noise and the drift of the controllers? Because as soon as you use the controller, there is that it's a lot harder even keep pushing straight on the controller. It's not that obvious, but if we overimpose on the screen your controller overlay, it's you will notice that you are not holding it straight. Um, so
Notice as well. I already, that's one of the key things I noticed straight away is that like straight doesn't really feel straight for me at least. Like I find it that it doesn't really straight.
on the controller,
Yeah, like well, is in general like Josh moving straight doesn't ever really feel like Josh moving straight.
yeah. So I'm a bit I'm a bit worried about the yeah. How can you be accurate with the controller? Uh, Taking into account all of the dead zone, all of the drifting, all of the like
Yeah,
human nature that is quite hard
it's hard to
to keep
yeah.
straight on a circle,
Well,
right?
I think the first thing really we've got to make sure that the animation is moving straight. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah. That's for
I
sure.
think that's one of the because I think even for the I find for the vaults it's hard to be straight in a vault, and I think that's a big issue. Like he's got to really move forward, like just forward though, because already he has these like these tilts that screw up everything,
Yeah,
especially when the rotation of him it plays such a key factor. Um,
yeah.
and I think this all comes down to be more like the precision of inputs and precision of movement.
Because like one of the parts that we need to do in the raw mockup data, before we are even considering, uh, you know, uh, having somebody that fixes the hands and the feet they're slightly on off, even way before that, I think we need to, and I think that could be done programmatically slash you know automatically. It's basically straighten the route. Like we
Yeah,
keep we take the route movement and you just say, okay, right, from here to here you're going straight, right? You're not gonna be the wobbly thing. Just go straight. I mean
yeah,
the pose can change, right? The pose can wobble and stuff because it's nice to see the real life wobble, but the route itself, I if you're running forward, just keep the route like as a line, right? Just the
that's
route
what I
needs
mean.
to
Yeah.
be as linear as possible.
Because if you look at some of the vaults, like one thing I found, and it's really like yeah, is like, and it's so. How can I see the root?
Oh yeah, people have asked for this FPS limiter. I'm not really sure. There is something in the project settings that says limit the frame rate at 60, but can we enable and disable if people wants to play at
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you
300?
can set what your FPS is. To be fair, we can have like a
Really?
thing like 30,
Okay.
60, 90. You mean like
Right. Good.
in tens or something? Yeah, like these subtle movements of the root really go a long way. In like, it's weird because yeah, like they seem like hard, but then I think in some animations more than others, it's like worse. I'm trying to think. Like, there's
Yeah.
one or
But
two
like,
where it's
but
pretty
you want them in the pose, but you don't want them in the root.
in the root because like even this, like it plays all of it plays a big impact. Like this isn't bad like in terms of the movement, but yeah, yeah. You need them in the pose. That's the issue. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, that's one of the things, and that's I think that's a code thing when we extract that root motion. Um,
Yeah. Are you looking at the TIFF pass? Yeah,
yeah,
the TIFF pass
because
goes all over the
this one I
root.
do full length, and you know, because again, a lot of it plays into also how you record the animation and like, are you recording angled? Oh, the backflip stopping the character. Yeah, no. Honestly, I mean,
Oh, the thing.
a lot of this
Yeah.
stuff, we don't have all the animations. Yeah, I haven't added it. Like you can see here, I've got a couple, but these are some like Kongs on to some Kongs off. So I've got really two cat passes. Some of these are like, yeah, you vote onto two speed steps, one thief because I've disabled the other one, uh, two dash volts,
We got two thieves, and now we go one thief.
one thief. So yeah, there is literally zero coverage. And so, and we're pretty
And now
harsh
we
with
got
what
zero thieves.
allow you to like go beyond. For now at least. But yeah, like we have no animations where he's like very close and does a Congo sign because yeah, or where it's like yeah, like you said, like a gainer or something like that. Like, but the I think everything up to this point was getting things in a place where the process of adding that is just like a press of a button. You know what I mean? Like it's not like oh I can't vault when I'm real close. It's like oh worry not, that'll take 20 seconds. You know, as opposed to be like, okay, if the character is close, do this check, set this state, and play. It's like, nah, it just is part of the system, which is where I think we're at now. So that's the good part. Um, okay, let me. I don't know why my end button is not working, and it's really pissing me off. And we also need to now transition to like moves in air, so not moves that are just on the ground. Because I think a lot of what I see as well is that people try and flip off things a lot, like, and so that to me shows a gameplay mechanic. And I've kind of gauged that would be the case for a while, but that tells me that's a mechanic that we really got to add. Like, if you dive off from an obstacle, you just walk in the air. Should bail.
No, I think that is where you go. We allow that extra step. Mm.
Are you talking about walk in the air as in like you dive roll and then walk in the air? Or are you talking about before you dive roll, you take it like you walk in the air? Because I think one of the things like when you because currently all the flips are just very much like yeah like they are and I think they're so obviously meant to be on the ground. It's like it's pretty crazy. Like they are so very obviously meant to be on the ground. Like this kind of side flip, you're like you're not side flipping off like that. Ooh, that was sick, yo. You know what I mean? And it really does impact the selling that motion. Um, and ironically for us as well, it impacts a lot of the stuff when we do like the falling and stuff because the motion of your root is so you're saying you dive roll and you land midair and you keep walking still. Let me see here. Ironically, I'm kind of surprised. I forgot to put into the control scheme how to like jump onto things. I literally cannot dive roll off this guy. Yeah, a lot of buggy behavior there. So like, so this is when like those extra frames that we want to keep for the beauty of the animation. This is when it becomes difficult to handle it in these precise circumstances. So we need a lot of stuff. It's like when you take off then and there, like from a static position, as opposed to like this running thing. So yeah, I mean, a lot of it comes down to coverage and stuff and that kind of behavior. But I still think in precise locations, like on rails, on walls, there generally needs to be a drastic improvement there. But yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think what the first thing I want to tackle is. Obviously, there's some bugs. Um, Cause yeah, cause even because one thing I notice is that when I see people do flips off stuff or like or on things that then fall, is I immediately get pulled out because it just doesn't feel or like a dive roll off. Like really, you should like do this and then you should like fall. Like you should dive and be able to go into a, front flip or tuck or like whatever it is, right? You just yeah, I get pulled out of that. Yeah, yeah. I never mind though if I'm aware that the problem is the animation and things that come from it. If the problem is the logic, underlying logic, then it's a problem. But the clip I posted on Discord, I did not use the left stick ones. Yeah, and that to me tells me that you have a lack of control, which is a problem. And as well, like say you want to like do a side pre, like there is no like say you want to go up here, for example, and like do a side pre to this. You should be able to, but currently it's doing that. So like there is a lot of, and the logic is there because it's like a jump, right? But coverage and all this stuff plays a big role. But yeah, that's stuff's fine because we know we can add that. Um, See, I don't know about locking the direction though. I think because then what's the left thumb isn't doing anything. You know what I mean? So you should be able to do everything you want to do in the absence of your left thumb and have that overriding control over direction. I think like one thing that is very evident on the flips, and you guys may not know, but is you don't really have control over direction to go. Like um yeah, like if I do a round off, for example, he doesn't go straight. Like he literally goes like to the side. Like if I'm running straight here, and if it mirrors or whatever, he's turning around and doing stuff that you really don't have that control over. So that's where that needs to be something you can control. So I think again that's that precision of movement. I mean, let me yeah. I mean, I don't know, I'm curious. What would we like to if we limited the in the root motion the x axis, and we just said no x axis movement. Obviously, I think it'd be dodgy though. Okay, let's start doing stuff. I'm just gonna pop toilet quick, and then I'm gonna start fixing bits and bobs and adding some stuff. Yeah, no. So for that arm jump thing, that will be a grab. Like, partially, some of the reason why I haven't done that is because it needs a climbing system, like set up to like, because like when you if you arm jump and grab something, like what then? You know what I mean? You need to be able to dyno and move and all. So that's why that jump and grab hasn't been done. But that will 100% be a thing. Now, one of the more difficult things is that if there's a ledge in front of you, for example, you can jump to that ledge, or you can arm jump straight to that ledge. Which you do is difficult to make that decision on the fly, especially if it's like relatively close, like jumpable distance. Because, like, for example, here, right, I could jump across, or I could arm jump to this, right? And your movement is completely different from the second you take off. Like the trajectory of your jump, everything about this jump is completely different. I think have that, but then if you want to like do that arm jump directly, that input is there. But I'm also a believer in like jumping and then grabbing. But like finding that balance between two is quite difficult in terms of like, you know, when you make the decision and like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you want to jump across here versus jump to it, you know what I mean? And then it's like a build of power, like, and then all this stuff goes into the moment. But if you're like running and you just want to jump to this thing, you should be able to just press A and it jumps, right? Rather than having to say, "Oh, I held A for 2.5 seconds." Like, it's, you know what I mean? But then if I want to arm jump to this thing, like the way you jump, everything about your jump will be drastically different. Whereas, for example, if I jump off here, this is obviously drastic, and then I want to grab this here. Once you're in a full state, then you can play around with it a bit more. But when you're not, you have a little less leeway in that regard. There definitely will be a jump and grab. I think that's one of the things to, like, for anyone playing, is like to remember, like, probably 99% of the features you're thinking about will come. It's just about a matter of time. Like, because if you thought it, nah, Charles out, we've also thought it too. So, but yeah, something like that, Andrew. I think I've said it one side in the stream. That'll definitely come. All right. So Dado,
Yeah.
so just want to know, so the things that you're focusing on now, just so that just so I know where we're at with this, in
Yeah.
terms of what we're working on.
So today I want to get the you know the control scheme, like the control
Mm.
menu. I
Oh
want to
yeah.
get that sorted because it's basically working. It uh just needs to um just needs to get um to understand, like for the volts, for example, it just needs to understand that uh, the way we analyze the flicks, right? Because I want to show that I'm gonna do all programmatically, right? So I'm gonna say, okay, like if there is this flick input, just show it as a, show me the flick input, right? Um, without me doing without doing any extra work on
Mm.
on that menu. And I think I'm basically there. So I think today I can really do I can really do it. But after that, I would say, uh, yeah, let's think after that, and I would say let's find. let's get the more mechanics in. Right, let's get
Yeah.
more
I'm gonna
advanced
fix
stuff.
this quick little bug that you do a jump during the thing. I already know what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
it's exactly what I thought. Yeah, on this
Yeah.
landing call, trigger the key action. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, okay, yeah, it's exactly what I thought. Um,
I was also looking with guns last night. Just how we dress that the real level up, right? In a way
mm,
that is compelling, and I think we're making progress there. I'm still not quite there in terms of having a solid reproducible pipeline. They could say, okay, you just do like these are the steps, right? A, B, C, D, and just like but that is expected because uh, you can't automate art to some point, right? You need to have that level of okay, yeah, the artist needs to be, need to have that human touch. That's that. But what I was more interested is in giving Gans and then whoever we got as the new artists to give them the tool to do all
mm-hmm.
the laborious work like a lot more efficiently. Like for example, he start putting the decals for the wear and tear, right? And he's got like the potholes. We got, he's got the cracks on the pavement and stuff like that. So like that is still a very manual process, right? It goes on and they say, okay, put the crack here, crack here. Yeah, it's got this. We got this like vertex painting thing. It's just like almost like painting foliage there, but for the most part, it's very manual. So what I wanted to have is uh, some tools, right? That we say, right, okay, give me a wear and tear wall, like give me a concrete brutalist like piece of wall, and then he has all the properties of that wall, right? He's got the crumbled edges. He's got the water um, patches, infiltrations, right? Like it's got all the things, but of course it's just almost like a canvas, right? And then the artist will go in and say, okay, I'll just like move all of this stuff around that already go to move it in a way that makes sense artistically.
Yeah,
So the because after we do, the more we're going deeper into the animation code and the gameplay code, then we really need to look at the rest of the game, right? Which is, I mean, a big part. We know that a big part is the visuals, right? So, um, yeah, we need to start looking into that, especially now that hopefully in April will be all sorted for us. We really need to have a solid plan of attack for those areas because at the moment we didn't really look into that yet because we say,
mm,
well, let's make the game first, right? And then we.
yeah,
But yeah, I think the game, the time is pretty much now to start looking into those areas, especially in terms of performances, right? We need to
yeah.
have all the mega shiny things, and then we need to have a plan to roll back to,
Well, we can, yeah. Well, like
yeah,
we really need to look at like occlusion, like what's hidden, what's not, a bunch of start optimizing a bunch of things. It's funny, like yeah, it goes into like what Ingo just said. Now it's really interesting to see how much time and effort spent on the second to second gameplay, with the actual making video game out of this being almost afterthought. Yeah, I think like
yeah,
I think one of the things because in the side of our minds, right, there's always this element of like the game side of it, like the narrative, the story, what you're going to do. But like over the last few years, we've really sculpted that and know what that we want that to be. But it's now about creating like a gameplay system that is really like scalable and like kind of widespread, so that that actual scope can be realized when the time comes. Because I think it's weird, like we know what we want it to be, but we can't do that until we realize enough of the gameplay so that we can start to actually see what that is like. And I think so much of what the game will be will come from the gameplay, like as opposed to like, yeah, like we know how it wants to play, what we want to be able to do in the future, but realizing that um comes from like realize like really um yeah, just to focus on the gameplay system, not 100%. I think, do you know what's so weird? It's that like, and I think this is the beautiful like dynamic of like um with the story guys, is that they have a real strong focus on that, like the story, the missions, the dialogue, the art. Whereas we're very focused on like, okay, like yeah, but how does it feel to jump, and how does it feel to fall, and how does like, do you mean? And then like where those two like, because it's really not, because then where those two merge is like that's where we want the game to lie. You know what I mean? Because we're very much like it's got to feel right. You know what I mean? Like an amazing story will come because Storror as a group, the guys have an amazing story. They have an amazing narrative. You know, their thing is so strong, like already in terms of who they are and what their story is and what the narrative they've built for themselves is. And they have such a strong sense of identity, you know, like really based in the street. So like that's there. And that, to be honest, it's actually an element that we don't showcase enough, because like whenever we talk to Drew, that is like that. It was when did we go to your house, Dad? The other week, the other day, last week, the week before.
Last week, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and we literally spent about 6 hours, just me, him, and Drew, just chatting about everything but the gameplay. Basically, like we're like stories and oh, what we did this and this is the chase and like chase. So like we talk about that so often. It's weird though, because like when you're on stream, you're working on the gameplay, and when you're off stream is when you're working on the game as a whole. And we've now, I think we're at the point where we've got a strong sense of it. But I think one of the things I want to start doing is like for the socials, like really talking about that, like what the game is from like a conceptual point of view, beyond just like the micro gameplay, like you said. Because so much thought goes into that. But in a way, it's easy because you've got this entity that has such a strong sense of identity of like what that narrative is, that you're just feeding off that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are the missions? It's like, okay, well, we already know they've got escapes, they've got rooftop challenges, they've got time trials, they've got exploration missions, they've got straight line challenges, they've got get out of the pits. You know what I mean? Like, race the tube. Like, all these missions are just there, ready for you to grab for. You know, like, okay, what's the visual? Oh, we already know it's street. You know, really like almost like urban, like security, kind of like that kind of. I won't go into too much depth. That's the visual of it. You know, like so. Yeah, that is the way like we've got like an art doc that's really really strong, but so like that is there. But a lot of, you know, for Drew as well, like, and when we're doing about this, we say, oh, we want to have the craziest helicopter chase, and it's our job to be like, yeah, that's not possible, or we can't do that. And less times than ever do we say that's not possible, but it's now to realize that, you know, because if we present that to you, you know, the helicopter chase sequence is sick, but is it fun to like, you know, what are the gameplay mechanics in that? You know, are you generally like sliding and controlling the jumps and stuff in that, or are you just like, you know, watching a cool sequence play? So that's just that balance. But yeah, I think we've got to start talking about it more, and like I want to start recording our like those the gay like story chats when we discuss that kind of stuff, because it's interesting, to be fair. Um, yeah, this I found my problem. It's because at this point we're not actually climbing.
At this point, he realized he fucked up.
Yeah, no worries. I've got it the wrong way around. Is exiting climb. You know what? So this is when we queue it, right? So that you can enter it before. And now I don't want to set states beforehand, so I want to actually assess: are we going to be in this thing? So we say if we're climbing and we're not exiting the climb because we do set this climbing thing to be, um, so we're not going to leave, then do this, or we're going into a climb, then we know it's going to want to be a dino. Now currently, yeah, currently I don't actually do anything there. So that's already interesting. So you guys are pressing the A when you jump, so that's interesting to jump off. So that's a feature we need. So yeah, so it is entering climb. Cool, happy days. So it's the same as this, but you need to this big controller is pissing me off. It's just in my way. Take out the PlayStation 5 controller, although it has stick drift. The dinos aren't in now, so the control for this. I just want to make sure the system is there. Um, because an arm jump will also take you into the. Because this is not specifically true. It's actually not a specific to. It's not specific to the cloud manager. Because an arm jump does actually take you into this guy. Potentially, then, in that case, it should really be. Oh, do you know what we can do? To be fair, we can have. Um, what I'll do actually is because I want to keep it so that this can potentially. Because so that just so the reason I've done this rather than return early, so that we can expand on it in the future if we want to, rather than doing an early return there. Like I've done that here, um, but I'm gonna do this because we may in the future change what this is, which I think we will. So for that reason, it's better just to have it like this. Like say, nah, you're not gonna, and then we say if we are, we're doing this. But then there may be a different case. Like if we are climbing and we're doing something else, then you know what I mean. Then we can this can be built upon. The logic doesn't rely and exit out here. That's something Dad had taught me actually. Ironically, and what's nice here is that there's only one point of exit. So when you query here, you can see like where it flows through to get to that point, rather than where it exits out. If we're doing a climb action and it's a run up, then we are entering climb. Okay, and then the other thing we need to do is in the jump manager. What I will do is to my lovely area with my virtual functions. Wait, that's why. Oh, it was a cons function. I forgot. Lovely. I like to keep them here on my virtual functions like that instead. Makes it a little nicer. And then we only care about these two for now, so that should be fine. But just so in the future we can, you know, is entering climb is not necessarily specific to just these two. We could go from a vault, in the future, and that's when we'll add it here. Uh, so yeah, that's why. Okay, so yeah, let's do it. So let me say, dude, I know. I wonder if I can stick in stop climbing here. And then I can get rid of this whole exiting climb crap. Let's stop it on takeoff. Well, otherwise, I stop it on landing, but then I just stop it. They don't really do much other than that. Let's see. Like, to be honest, let's see. We won't change anything, so it just might mean that I don't need to do um mm, did I just do it in the pre-process? Yeah, we stop climbing. Because this is whenever we're doing some kind of action. All right. And then we say, does the action we do transition to a climb? If so, start climbing. You know what I mean? Because we'll start climbing at landing for the. I mean, let's leave it here and see what happens. I want to rebuild, but let's see now. Because now, because then the thing is, I want to basically get rid of this nonsense here and this thing here. Like we should be climbing, or we're doing this when we queue. Whatever action we're doing. Uh, but let's see. Um, let's see what happens. This should hopefully Get rid of that bug. Is that when I try and stop, I will just keep moving forward, as in I will just walk forward 3 to 4 steps before actually stopping. It's almost impossible to turn on the spot without running any direction, and in my case, just run a. Yeah. Just interesting, though. I don't know if you there
Yep.
actually. You there?
Yeah.
Is that like? It seems like we've got the base locomotion down in motion matching. It is just that like tighter movement, isn't it? That which obviously is the intrinsic like it is the downside of motion matching. You know what I mean? It's like you lose a little bit of that tight knit control because you are going for more like the stopping power. You know what I mean? You don't stop as quick, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
Um,
that tail end of the
mm,
system. Which is, while you're
which
moving is
is
very
beautiful.
good, but the edges are, yeah,
But
rough.
that's an interesting behavior because what one thing I'm discovering is that people want to do a lot of stuff in more of those like tight knit, like on a ledge or at the edge of a building or the thing. You know what I mean? It's not just like the behavior isn't just like, oh, doesn't matter how wide it is. I'm just always. You know what I mean? It's very much like I want to get on this ledge and then do a standing jump rather than like climb jump. You know what I mean? Like it's what weird like.
Yeah.
But no, it's interesting to see. Um, let's see if this bug is fixed. God, I hate these. I hate this freaking clothing. Oh crap! I've got a bunch of.
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
other thing that I really would like to look into, like why on earth our beautiful clothes are not. I mean, I know why, but
Also, I
every
fixed the
solution to that is painful.
Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I said every solution to that is very painful. Every solution that I can see is painful.
Yeah. Also, I fixed the What's it called? Oh, that looks nice. Ooh. Yeah. No. Whoa, what's going on there? Interesting. Oh. Oh. Oh, because watching this in the car right now, the stream's definitely gonna buffer. What car are you in? Like a Tesla, son? It's like, don't crash.
In the car. Wow,
Probably just on his phone, but
that's how cool.
just don't
Oh,
stream the and
I
drive.
hope you're not driving.
Don't stream and drive. If you crash, it's not my fault. I know how distracting my lovely voice can be. That is what's causing this crap. To be fair. Oh, nice. I didn't. I love how like I didn't even think about. Maybe he's just a passenger in the car. I was like, oh, don't drive and thing. Oh man, God, I'm hungry. You know, I should have eaten before I started streaming. God, those transitions from the jump I hate more than anything. Okay, fix that bug with the climbing and being stuck in it. That's an easy fix. Cool. I mean, that's the only bug I've seen so far. Try that in. I don't see many bugs to be fair. I was trying, kind of expecting to see more. Where after doing a flip trick, I can't do another jump right away. So if I'm heading towards an edge, I kind of just walk off. Hmm. One good thing, I mean, minus all the stuff that is a bit dodgy and unfinished. I'm not seeing many bugs. Is that just me? I don't know. Have you seen any data? Like people report many bugs?
No, I mean not. Mm,
The
yeah,
one I
depends
saw.
what you consider bugs, but
Well,
yeah,
so when I say a bug, I mean something that is very clearly like it's like yeah, that should not be happening. Not a case of like what they want to do doesn't happen. If that makes sense. So like, oh, I want to jump and grab this wall, but I just jump and hit the wall. It's like yeah, because we don't have that, right? So it's not
yeah,
something we have. It's something that is just that it's there, but it's working not as intended. So like the where you climb and jump through the wall, that's a very obvious bug. I fixed that now. I'm trying to see if there's anything else, but
uh,
I can't
no,
seem
I
to.
think it's mostly no bugs, but behavior that they don't work well. Like for example, I saw a few people. You know when you do the climb up on
Hmm.
a slow wall, and you have that bounce back thing. Right? I saw a few people there, but I
Mm.
don't consider that a bug. It's something that doesn't work well, but it's not
So
necessarily.
bounce back
When
as in they climb up and then they drop down.
no. You know when we had the case that when you are too close and you go backward in the you go backward
Oh,
in
you're talking about like where you walk backwards, like you're already in it. Oh, like wait, if you see the stream, I've just done it.
let me see the stream.
That right?
Um, what's that? Wha- yeah, that one. Yeah, that one.
Okay, yeah. See, that's fine because that one I expect to happen.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, I'm they. So I didn't see many bugs in the or the bugs that I saw. I already knew that they were there. You know, like the raw input thingy
Oh, okay,
when the
yeah.
camera
So yeah, cause
switches.
so
Yeah,
that
that
yeah,
is
so
a
that like
bug.
that is like a bug, yeah. So so that bounce back one, I know what that's just bad behavior as opposed to bug. Yeah, you're right. The only bug I've seen so far was that one where you jump inside a wall. Like that shouldn't happen. But I've just fixed that now. Um, okay, I mean, trying to think what he means by when he does a flip near an edge. I'm curious. I'm curious to see what it means. All right. Well, I guess I can go back to adding stuff. Um,
Okay, I'm gonna crack on with this setting screen. Right, finalizing this sorry, control setting menu thingy.
cool.
Um, so
All right. I'm going to work on improving the things that I think suck, which is everything. Um, yeah, I mean, the lack of bugs is always a promising sight. Um, and I don't really, I've not really seen.
I think yeah, I think now it's only a question. Like yesterday, last night, we were trying with Gans to do a very cool line in his level, and there were a lot of. Well, I already told him that for me it was a little bit too cramped because like the spaces there were very very small. But apart from that, um, I think the next you know the next big thing that we need to focus on is like how do we achieve fluent gameplay consistently,
Yeah,
because doing a nice line you should be able to do it always, right? Well,
always, yeah.
yeah, so
And you don't get pulled out from stuff like that in the wall. Like,
yeah, for
I mean,
example,
now I'm gonna fix that. The fact that it chooses
inside
that guy,
door.
I really don't. I think it should choose something different.
Sorry.
The fact that it chooses that guy where he's like inside the wall, and because I think if you walk, because I think they put if I stop and do it, it does that guy, and even that is a bit too janky. But yeah, I don't mind if it does that guy. Yeah, see if it does that guy, it's a bit better. But if it does this guy, it's like hell nah, that's just awful. That pulls you right out of it. Same with that dude. It's really bad. Okay, let's see what we can do. And one thing I also that I think the rolls trigger just a little bit. One thing I've noticed is that the my performance has gotten worse. Is that just me?
um
Like I know I'm streaming right now, but it's like lagging like crazy, and it was never doing this on the previous streams. Like my performance looks like it's gone downhill.
mm, no, I don't. I mean, I didn't see that specifically.
Yeah, because I mean streaming, I'm at 30 FPS, and I was
Yeah,
always at
that's
like
very well.
60.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at 20. Yo, hold on. Yeah, I'm at 20 FPS here in this level now, whereas I
Yeah,
never
no,
was.
that's definitely sus.
Because if you go back to a previous stream, I was at 60. I was at 80 just while streaming as well.
Yeah, no, that's sus.
Like side flip towards the edge of what you're standing on and jumping off at the edge, he felt couldn't happen because the delay between the move was too long. You should be able to like side flip and then they tap. Oh, so something like that. I mean, that's some dodgy behavior there. Why are my frames so bad? That's something. What changed? Because I've never been. Is this a different level or something? Yeah, what? Yeah, what is? Hold on, what is going on? Because this is awful.
What I notice
I'm really.
is sometimes uh the performance degrades like drastically.
But how? Because what I'm curious about is how I went from 2 days ago running this scene at 120 basically to now running at 20 just in edit, even though I'm streaming. Because if you go back to my last stream, I had the FPS on and I was at. I mean, let me just even go back to my last stream.
But what was when you started this stream?
The same. It was. It's been terrible from the start.
Ah, that's interesting then. It's very interesting.
Hold on, let me go back to the previous stream. Let's just look at what my FPS actually was.
I mean, I'm looking back at your stream, and you started playing at about 40, which is not great, but it's more than 20 that you got now, right?
There it goes. I'm at 30 now.
Yeah, before you had 43, something like that. I'm looking at -1 hour 17, and it's between 45 and
Yeah, I mean
40.
my FPS on the top right has gone down too. To be fair.
I think, yeah, no, I think that is the degradation of.
Oh, here we go. Oh, too far. I didn't have that animation tab open, which is now closed, and then my FPS has gone back up to 60.
What? The animation?
Yeah, I had another window where I had an animation open.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, that's a killer. Yeah, yeah.
Still though, my FPS still seems lower than what it usually is. Hmm. Weird. Maybe it's just because I'm streaming. Yeah, one thing I find about the rolls is that they just trigger a little too late. Like you land, and then there's like you feel the impact, and then it rolls. Like almost like a second after you want it to. Not like a second, but like yeah, I don't know. It's such a split second, but it's enough to pull you out of that. I think I find at least. Yeah, you know what I mean. You almost want to be rolling. So, I mean, it potentially could just be. I mean, let me try this. Hold on. No. Um, so if you're doing a landing, we start at 0-0. Interesting. So let's look at one of the rules. Yeah, I mean that shot shoots down my frame massively. Um, yeah, no, definitely. Well, I think that arm jump is a tricky one because it needs to be you can jump and grab, or you can just jump. You know what I mean? There's that double side to it. Um, but it should almost be like a jump in itself. Like you can launch yourself like a jump and grab the ledge. It's like a double. It's like a at climax. You decide you want to arm jump at climax, and then you go and do the arm jump instead of jump. But like your trajectory and everything would be different. We've also drastically got to improve when you. Yeah, I think for me the role is something I feel when I play. Like I just, it's always just been on the back of my mind. Like it feels. I mean, I know this is gonna break a lot of stuff, but um, let me just. I know this is gonna break a ton of stuff. Um, yeah, yeah, I know this is gonna break things, but yeah, because well, one of the things that happens is that because we don't actually have those different roles, but like so currently there's like a subset of five roles. They all drop off the same height, but we actually need bigger roles that also have better timing. So like there's your role timing, which will determine the role you do, but we need it one where your velocity is higher as well into the role, and that's a coverage thing. So yeah, that one I'm not too I don't mind too much. I agree with you, but I don't mind that behavior too much because I know what it is. It's just this. There's just this underlying thing that I don't know what it is. That feeling is of being unable to. I don't know. It just feels like it's a second behind always. I can't quite. Yeah, like, I can't quite put my finger. It's very weird, but it's like yeah. And we also need roles that stem from different doing different things. So like one thing you'll notice now is like the role you do out of a jump will be the same you do out of a landing, but it's really different. Like it needs to be more contextual. So like the role I do when I've just jumped over a wall needs to be different than the role I do when I'm falling, and the role I do when I'm doing a Kong, or the role I do from after a climb. Like they need to be roles that stem from that, and just select it like just a batch of that. So that is one of the things that needs work, I think. But like again, it's a pretty straightforward and easy thing to identify and subsequent like. So now if you do a role here, it just looks off because it doesn't. It's not right. Like you are in essence like that kind of role is a role that you're starting from your like you push off and roll, as opposed to like you're landing like you know what I mean. So that like identifying that context there is different. So now, sorry, I didn't even see what the hell was going on. Yeah. So now if I jump here, it gets into it quicker, but it's a little too quick to go. Kind of prefer it to me. It's a little too quick, but then I don't know because that to me feels like it spends less time in that buffer zone. Like that feels, I don't know, like it looks snappier, but it feels a little cleaner. Like it looks a lot snappier, and because it is, Like you've lost a lot less time, but it just feels a bit more like I don't know. I feel the weight. I feel that momentum of preservation from doing the role a lot more. I don't know. I prefer this. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm bugging. Tell me if I'm bugging. But then again, it looks a lot more janky. Like it doesn't look as fluid. And there is this like harsh douche that you see with the. Yeah, that's it's, like that to me. Just I don't know. It looks and feels quick, and he's on the he's rolled like you know what I mean. He's on the money. Like get going quick. You know what I mean? Like maybe I'm just bugging out, but I don't know, man. Like maybe I'm just bugging out. I don't know. Yeah, like that role there you do right. It just it's one where you need to be pushing off into like a roll from a jump. Like you know what I mean, whether it is different than a roll, just a roll because you don't have that downwards momentum that you're sinking into it. You are really like pushing into a roll. So yeah, that separation of animation will make that a lot better. But ooh, nighttime. Same like there, a roll from a stride will look different than a roll from a. You see, like it just looks janky, especially with this quicker. Um, my chat has disappeared. Oh, ah, I've also realized it doesn't because this was the whole point of this value here. Interesting. Yeah, this is problematic for the landing for the row because you don't have 0.1 seconds. Hmm. Yeah, don't know about that. Yeah, I mean, what if we just let it do that post match? And then anything up until that landing is what it picked. Up until the table, which is what? I had before. Pick the best point up until your takeoff time. I wonder, is that all it needed? Save for the sticks. Let's see. Potentially. Potentially, potentially, potentially. The long step, yeah, that's fine. I'm trying to just. When you say long step out, do you mean as in like what do you mean exactly? Like that, or that bit, or just in every role you do? Because some of them have a pretty quick step out, like a. Because if you're talking about the one that stumbles, that's actually based on your timing. Um, so like the closer to the ground you do it, the better that one will be. Um, but yeah, if you're talking in general, potentially, yeah. No, I don't know. It's annoying. I want to. It's one of the first. I just want to fix bit by bit. If I work at the start and then see that pisses me off. God, the sticks are so bad. But do you mean that for every single role? Because obviously you could do different roles based on your the quality of your landing, of the timing of your role. So some roles you get back up and you can turn straight away. Other roles you do have a much longer like. Let me try and find one that has that. Yeah, this one there, you do that. And that's because you did a bad roll. Obviously, there's no feedback now, so you had no clue about that, to be fair. Um, yeah, the sensitivity will just make that on a scale so you can adjust that yourself. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, let me know if it's all of them. Yeah. It is just, it may just be the case that the one that is the most frequent roll is that one. Uh, but yeah, if it is just that one, just let me know. I have a feeling it might be, but okay. To me, I don't mind this. I don't mind this. I don't mind it because it doesn't always pick the same start time. Um, this already feels a little bit better for me. It's very subtle, but I get more animations that aren't as sucky. I still have that feeling sometimes, quite often to be fair, that douche and then go. But to be fair, a bit more variation in your roles could help as well, so you can get a better pose match. Especially one based on your velocity. Like if you're really coming down on it, you need one that does the same. Yeah, like that for me, I think. Yeah, like they're there. Instead of just sweeping your feet under, you need to use that as part of your role. Like, and that's just that's a role from a running jump. Like, it's you need to really identify that and like I say, if I sprinted this dude here, that role just doesn't make add up for me. All right, I mean, I prefer these already. God, the stakes are just they're too staticky. They need. I have I have a feeling we might do stakes completely without animation. Don't know. Well, it definitely needs some physics on top of everything to get it right. It needs more. It needs more care. To be fair. All right, I'm happy with this already. I think this is a slight improvement, but I feel better about this already. Fuck's sake. Calls guns, put some code. Guns wrote code. Nice. Nice. That dive roll clip's cool. Yeah, did you see that dive roll clip thingy for? Glad to see the roll off bit. It's quite cool. I'm glad he could aim that quite well, to be fair. All right. That's another thing fixed. Let's fire this back up. Let's fix the next thing. Or improve the next. The sticks need to be fixed, but I might now. I might need to do a build. Yeah, but might do one again tonight or tomorrow with some changes. Um, especially some fixed stuff. I might just push another version because why not? There's a couple things I want to add first that I want to have a look at. Um, yeah, I want to fix that climb thing where it goes backwards on itself. I made it so that you could always climb, basically, so you you never don't climb. So like, yeah, you never don't climb. Like you always climb as long as you're within like range. But the range is huge because I don't know if you noticed. So now you don't need to hold climb. You can just press it, and you always climb. Um, that is the behavior that needs to be the case. But if you're always going to climb, it needs to look good. So that's one thing I've got to sort out now. Um, I think what the main thing is in that selection. We don't wait what that distance. Like if you are that close, you really need to. Yeah, I don't even know. But you really need to pick one that's just gonna go up and straight onto it. Um, that's when I had the mantle thing. Yeah, so now that the rules, whatever. Um, let's fix this, that, like that. That's what because if he just stands there, minus like the IK and the dodgy physics and stuff, it's not as terrible. That one's bad. But to be fair, oh, I need some food. Okay, I need food. I'm gonna get some food. I see what's going on here. Ah, hold on a hot second. Oh, I think I know what's going on. I think I know what's going on. It's a lot more stable, isn't it? Hmm. That's a lot more stable, isn't it? Jesus. Wow. You see, that's way more stable. I mean, I still think you should pick the slow one, like the mantle, but like you should really pick that guy, and maybe then. I mean, oh, that guy actually just. Yeah. I mean, I mean, yeah. I mean, alright. There's okay, lots of bits and bobs to do. I'm gonna grab food. That's already more stable. I think I know the solution to that. Let's improve the climbs. Let's improve them. Let's get them always looking good. And then I think we need to weight more that distance match. Um, it needs to be a bit more beautiful. A bit more beautiful. So yeah, let's do that tonight. Let's fix that. I'm just gonna make food. I'm gonna keep the stream going because why not? Dada, I don't know. Do you want to share your screen? And
Yeah, sure.
I'll just put that on.
I mean, it's extremely boring coding,
Yeah,
but yeah, well,
is the life of the dev. Yeah,
yeah,
better.
yeah. Wait, let me share the screen. Yeah. That's one. Also, Gans is writing some code. A big warning there.
Oh no! Oh no! Prepare for everything to break.
Prepare for the breakage. Abandon ship. Abandon ship.
Abandon ship. All right, guys. I'm gonna grab some food. You guys can watch Dada write some UI code. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, so why the thing is not map? Let me check. Check. So cat pass. All right. Cat pass. The cat pass. A bit. Let's go here. Is this gamepad right to the? Do I have a gamepad right to the? What is this gamepad right to the? Because this V key goes. Yeah, gamepad. Oh, gamepad. Right, some stick. Yeah. Oh, I maybe need to just add gamepad right to the. What's this? No, it's this not. I mean, it is. Right. Let's see. Gamepad right to the. The hex. came back right. It's a bit weird that this is thumbstick. This is just gamepad. Mm. But, but see if we can at least see the we're still missing like 2 inputs there, so mm. Oh, and also mouse 2D, right? That is gonna be mouse 2D. So let me put the stream on to see if need to read some comments. What's this? So let me see. Well, lots of comments here. Can you guys do a patch? It doesn't. Or does you always need to cook the whole game? No, there is like the builds are incremental based on what you built previously. So it's I mean, you need to do a build, and what it is a full rebuild or not. It depends on how much you change. But sometimes, especially for the build machine, you may want to say, look, just start from scratch every time, because you need to make sure that everything builds correctly always. So there is a pipeline called CDCI, continuous deployment, continuous integration, or continuous integration, continuous deployment, which is basically led to there are these offline machines. Well, there are these machines that constantly build the game every time you are required to build them. For example, every time you make a change, you push that change, and those machines will build the game, right? So those machines will need to rebuild the game from scratch every time, and and it looks tedious, and it's quite mental, but that is the only way you can guarantee the absolute correctness of your builds. So it's yeah, it's a bit tricky to, but for the most part you can do partial builds. Right, so why does this not, right, what the hell? Right, if I build it, did I build it? Right, it should be built. Controls. Oh yeah, okay, well that makes a little bit more sense. Now where's the other bit? This is cat pass. Oh, So I need to read the coded action. Okay. So I start with this. So cat pass, you go there and then start to read the coded action. And I think sorry, if it didn't mean mouse to this one. Um yeah, I think I need mouse mouse a complete mouse, right? Because you're here, mouse and keyboard. Yeah, the parkour cat pass is not. Oh yeah, it's not there, right? So it's something to cat pass. Yeah, I would just highlight the whole mouse, and then I'm gonna move it. Yeah, it's annoying because that's. Okay, so let me. Okay, that comes later. Let me read the coded action, right? Coded action. Okay, for now, yeah, coded action is. So here, if it's a cat pass, so I need to read into the action, right? So yeah, that is the main one, and then there is a, and then if there is a flick action, okay, I think I can do it in the action. Let's see what's available here. Triggers, right? Okay, let's I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that properly later. For now, I wanna see. It's quite annoying that that thing is, but it's okay. So here is an add. So what is this guy? F key. And so we do const F key key. I did it like this, right? Um, change the map. Add map and key. Private. Very beautiful. Alright, so this is like key. Key. I don't need to be part of the class. Okay. Ah, that's annoying. Gonna put the lambda there. It's not really big fan of lambdas, but um, uh, let's uh, let's deal with it for now. That mapping key. Keystrokes and V key. So this is a void, and this thing. No, why is it doing this? What? Mate, what are you on about? Vicky is sus. Sus. This point. What? What are you on about? Am I back in here? What is the... Am I being stupid? Yeah, I'm being stupid. No surprise there. Yeah, that felt a bit weird, to be honest. I blame guns. I saw the triggers here. What is this trigger? Is T array of object pointer, blah blah. So if cast, whether you coded action maybe. Check. Coded action. Refile. Just give me the class. I need the class. What is it? Oh, dear. Now just back here, right? 5.2. Um, for the action. No? Coded action. Now. Um, your input action. Um, yeah, but how can I? You input. You input triggered code action. This guy makes it like it. So if this guy um right, um hang on. This one is um okay, coded code action. Alright. This is quite a mouthful, right? Okay, let's try this. Okay. Now coded action is edge walk. Um okay, so on this one Yeah, I on this one. Oh, see, is this? Okay. I mean, I know sounds complete bonkers, but bear with me a second. Bear with me a second while we go into this. Um, we go into this insanity. It's absolute insanity at this moment, but how do you spell this code? Okay, the code that is. I mean, the actual name is the action, right? And this one's where it can be like this. Alternate the other guy. Alternate the other guy. And then done. I'm going to this. So if this is illnesses, okay, that is absolute insanity, but there's only one way to find out. Die. Uh, sad face. Sad face. Is it? Is it building the thing? Oh wow. Let's see if it ever gets there. It gets there. Oh, I'm an idiot. It actually works. It actually works. I think. Well, should work. Oh yeah. I think it does. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like coded action resolved. Just one. There's one bit of the puzzle, right? Flip. It's good. The other one. Oh yeah. It's sus though. It doesn't. It's very sus. Yeah. The I think it accumulates now. Okay, I need to look at that. That is very sus. Yeah. Okay, I mean it's oh, nice actually. Okay, it works. Alright, we're back in business. I mean, it's absolutely atrocious, of course. Right, this is absolute. This is absolute insanity, right? But can we do any better? I mean, I don't know. This freaking thing is written by a 2 years old. I mean, the real engine code. Okay. And the insanity of this thing. I'm really happy that it works. Um, I think the simplest thing to add there is series of events. That is the simplest thing to add. Okay, I said that, but getting there. Remove that temporary thing. Um, yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let me grab some coffee, guys. Gonna get, gonna be back in 2 minutes. I'm gonna coffee.